Yeah, so several of the videos that I've watched talked about listening to the wood and hearing what it tells you, but I've heard that it's not good to listen to negative comment. You're down here. Hey, Bear Grylls, it's the wood talking. Yes? So what gives? You trying to burn me up? Yeah, well, no, I'm actually trying to burn the tinder bundle. But what the? Why have you never talked before? You never listened. Okay, I'm listening now, I guess. All right. You see my other boys over there? Yeah. You see how they ain't none of them help you start no fires? Yeah. Yeah, well, I ain't helping you neither. Oh, is that right? Yeah, that's right. Why don't you just go back inside and give up, nature boy? All right, listen here, you piece of wood. It's on. Bring it. Hello there, you faithful few, and welcome back to DMS Adventures, where learning a new skill is an adventure still. So we've all gone out looking for videos where we're just trying to find the best way to do something or find how something works. And typically, when you're doing that, you're looking at people that are very experienced in what it is that they're doing, got a lot of knowledge in it, and that's the way it should be. You want to make sure you're learning off of somebody that knows what they're doing. But I don't know about you, but a lot of times when I'm watching those, I'm thinking, man, this person knows so much about this, there's no way I'm going to be able to do what they're saying or do it the way they're doing it or something like that. So, like, just because I watch a video on how to repair a washing machine doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to be able to turn around and do it. So for that reason, I've always liked making videos where we're showing that anybody can do it. It can be your first time, and it's something you can handle. So typically when we get a new tent, we will do a video on setting it up for the very first time, so you guys can know what to expect when you go to do it yourself. So we've done that with the cinch tent. We've done that with the Trekker 2.2. We've done it with the Trekker 3 tent. We've also done it with the cinch hub. So those were all the very first times that I'd ever set those things up. We also did a video on how to do a sleeping pad repair. We had never done that before, so we just videoed it to show that it's really not that big a deal. And then, of course, we also videoed our very first ever backpacking endeavor, just kind of to chronicle, you know, what went on, and to show that anybody out there watching, you can just kind of just go out and do it. So today's video is going to continue in that tradition, and we are going to be trying to start a fire without a lighter, matches, any type of accelerant. We are going to be making a bow and drill kit to do that. So yeah, I've always keeps moving the camera. Yeah, so I've always loved the idea of bushcrafting, being able to go out there into the wild and make a shelter, start a fire, forage for food. I've always liked the idea of it, but I've never really tried it. So my favorite part of that probably would be making a shelter. But the next favorite part would be making fire, just being able to do that without having the normal tools to start one in today's day and age. So I haven't done it yet, so this could fail spectacularly, but we're gonna give it a shot anyway. So we've got some good choices here for materials from a downed pine tree in our yard. So right here with the dried out pine needles, we will make our tinder bundle. From one of these pieces here, we will make our handle, and then our spindle and hearthboard will come from one of these guys. And then our bow is right there. See, it's got a nice slight arc to it, and that will make a perfect piece. Got our silky gum boy here. We want a piece for our spindle about yay long. So I'm going to just take this edge off here. This piece here is going to be our spindle. I've already got our bow. Next we need the hearthboard. Here will be our first attempt at a hearthboard. The only thing left that we need is a handle. And this piece here will actually do just fine. A little big though, so we will cut this down a little bit. There is our handle. So let's just tackle the easy one first, huh? It's usually the way I like to do things, get some momentum going on your task. It's got a slight arch to it here. And this is where I want to hold on, so we'll want to shave off the bottom right here. I used to love whittling while camping. Just never any good at it. Okay, I'm liking that. Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a hole right there in the middle. Carefully, of course. Start a little hole. Try not to embed the knife in my thigh. And just start digging this out. So I think we're good here with this hole. I'm just going to clean it up a little bit. So I think next up on the scale of easiness would be the spindle. So for this, you want as straight a piece as possible. I think I can whittle this down because it's a little thicker on this end, but it also bends up a little bit. I think if I take material off on this end, on this side mainly, I can make that super straight, which is what we need. So one end, we are going to take it down to a kind of a point, like a stake. And the other end, we're going to try to round off to make it more like a dome. One other thing is we want to take the bark material off, but we also want to do it in kind of a faceted fashion. Faceted fashion? Yeah, faceted fashion. So that our cord will have some extra friction to work with on the spindle when we're trying to twist it. There we go. That's good, that should do it. I'm a little concerned. There still seems to be a bow here. Not perfectly straight, so I'm curious once we go to twisting this thing back and forth, how wobbly it's going to be. So we want the hearthboard to be flat on top, flat on the bottom, and we'll have to make it flat on at least one side. And the overall shape, we want to take this cylinder and we want it to look more like a board. So we will take care of that and then move on to the next phase. I am running out of daylight. I'm probably going to just call it for this evening, and we're going to continue this later. So while I was waiting for the snow to fall, I tried not to do too much. All I did was shape up the hearthboard here a little bit, and I went ahead and did the bow. So all I did for this was I just cut out a little notch on this end, cut out a notch down on this end, and then attached some rope. Now this here is manila rope, and originally I used paracord, as you're more likely to have that when you're out on the trail. I couldn't quite get the tension right. It kept, as I was practicing bowing, it just slipped a little too much. So I tried something with a little bit more friction, and I got it to at least turn. And so we're just gonna go with the manila rope for now. So next up, what we're gonna do is we are going to pick a side, and we're going to cut out a divot here in the hearthboard. Okay, you faithful few, so here's the deal. I have not been able to get this kit to work. The hearthboard and the spindle are giving me problems. I can get everything to work correctly, as in the spindle turns, everything looks good, I can go at it for a while, but I just cannot get a burn-in on this hearthboard or any dust to fall out of this spindle. I'm gonna chalk it up to, well, not knowing what I'm doing for one, but I think there may be too much moisture in these, and or I'm just on the wrong part of the wood. So I'm not ready to give up, but I am gonna cheat a little bit. This is what I was originally gonna do before trying it with natural wood. So I've got a pine dowel here that I just cut a piece off and made into a spindle. Then I have a nice kiln dried 2x2 here that I cut a piece off of, cut in half, and made a hearthboard out of it. So next up, we're just gonna put a little divot in the hearthboard for the spindle to turn in. I am happy with this divot here. Let's get to bowing and see if we can get a burn in. I did break the manila rope while trying to heat up that other kit. So I'm back to the paracord. So for this, we're just gonna wanna make slow, smooth motion to heat up the kit. We're just burning in to our divot. I think I'm happy with that burn-in. Now we're going to come right to the center here on the edge and put a notch in the wood. Then we want to come in at an angle to that on this side and an angle on this side. So now we will just chip this away. Alrighty, so we have got our notch cut in here and got it a little bit wider down here at the bottom. And then this notch is where the dust that's created from the friction will fall down into this little channel, gather up here, and this is where the ember is supposed to form. So let's get to bowing and see if we can get ourselves an ember. All right, you faithful few, this is what it all comes down to. Now, I listened to the wood and it said this is my last attempt here. And if you listen to the wood, then you heard it say that I have tried this multiple times with multiple hearthboards and have yet to produce a functioning ember. I've been able to get some great dark dust, but just haven't been able to produce that ember yet that just continues to smoke on its own. So I've got my tinder bundle ready over here on an oil pan in case by some stroke of luck I actually do get a fire going. So we are now going to find out whether it's the sassy fireboard that is going to win or me. All right, so we got a piece of paper here to catch the dust, and let's get to bowing. Just gonna try and keep it smooth and steady and not wear myself out too quickly. Trying to use the whole length of the bow and keep the bow as parallel to the ground as possible. So here's the dust, but no ember still smoking. As you can see, I had some good smoke going while I was bowing. As soon as I stop, it just goes out. I do not know what I need to do different here. If anybody knows any pointers or whatever I'm doing wrong, let me know in the comments down below. All right, you faithful few, check this out. I went back to my first original spindle. Look at that little glowing piece right there. We're gonna take that ember, let's stick it into our tinder bundle here, see if we can get it going. Spot to set that down in. Right through my paper. Bam! Other than having a big fire going in my house. Look at that! Take that, wood! Bam! I have made fire! There it goes. Look at that! That was awesome! So I'd asked the Rugged Mountain sister that if this didn't work, if I should post it or not. And she said, yeah, even if I didn't get the fire going, I should post it anyway. Well, I get to post it and I got the fire going. Even though it took a few hearthboards and some trial and error, I did get it on the first try. So the only problem is I'm not entirely certain what I did different this time. The only thing I did was I went back to my original spindle, and man, that produced an ember pretty darn quick. And I did switch the hearthboard from this slightly thicker one. I thought I needed more room here to build up a better ember. I switched it to this one that's a fair amount thinner. And this is the one that ended up producing the ember along with the original spindle. So yeah. All right, ye faithful few, thanks so much for joining me on this a little bit long, but ultimately successful endeavor. And you all have a great day. Yeah, Wood, what do you think of that, huh? You got anything sassy to say now? Yeah, I didn't think so. What, nothing? You're not gonna talk, huh? No, I guess you wouldn't, because you're Wood. Yeah, so take that. Looky.